But I don't know. I don't remember why this showed up in my thing. I think I was just like, oh, this is on. Is this the official Sound of Freedom? 4 subscribers? Sound of Freedom 3? Okay, well, Donald Trump on Donald Trump on Sound of Freedom, Donald Trump News, live Trump News. Thank you, Trump. Thank you to Trump for helping the children 10 months ago. This is so crazy what's going on. 10 months ago, you still think Trump is helping children. That's interesting. This was posted on August 18th, 2023, 375 views. Is this the most viewed one of Donald Trump talking about it? Maybe I should search up something else. Is this a re-upload, or like is this just a hidden gem? Let's see. Tim Ballard interviews Donald J. Trump. Well, is it just taken from this?
Mr. Donald.
Oh, it's just a cropped version of this.
What was your favorite scene of the film?
Yeah, let's see.
Donald Trump.
Thank
Mr.
you
President, thank you.
I'll just watch this. This is the same. This is the same thing. Yeah, okay. So somebody just whatever. Fuck YouTube. Fuck YouTube. Breaking news. Trump calls for death penalty for human traffickers, praises Sound of Freedom 2 years ago. This is a funny fucking thumbnail. 13 views. Did he do death penalty for human? Is this another thing that he just said he'd do and then everybody forgot that he said he'd do it? And he's like, trust me, in 2 weeks I'll do it. Like he didn't do death penalty for human trackers, did he? Okay, well.
To host a screening at Bedminster of the important new film,
Is this AI?
Sound of Freedom,
No,
about the power of faith in overcoming evil, and in particular, the evil.
I don't like how we're using fucking Ludovico Einaudi.
Of child trafficking. Big problem. We had it down to...
Okay, this is also a cropped re-upload. Maybe get rid of that.
Tim Ballard interview.
We're worried about copyright claim. Well, whatever. Maybe okay. I'm just kind of curious what he has to say about the movie. Given, okay, all right, another re-upload, but this one looks better and doesn't have music.
Sound of Freedom, about the power of faith in overcoming evil, and in particular, the evil of child trafficking. Big problem. We had it down to the lowest number in many years, just 4 years ago, and now it's gone through the roof. Even though the fake news media has tried to ignore it, Sound of Freedom has been a national sensation and a colossal success at the box office, really big numbers. Everyone should see it. This is a very important film and very important movie.
A very important film.
And this is a very important film and very important movie, and it's a very important documentary all wrapped up in one. It's really...
I mean, it's not what a documentary is.
Really about an issue that has to be discussed.
Also, current day Trump, stop talking about Epstein. Stop talking about child trafficking. It's boring. What the hell? Like it's an important issue that needs to be discussed. Oh, oops.
In my leadership, we did more than any administration in history to combat human trafficking and to end modern day slavery. In one of my first acts in office, I signed an executive order targeting transnational criminal organizations that traffic and exploit innocent people. I signed the Frederick Douglass Trafficking Victims Prevention and Protection Reauthorization Act, authorizing $430 million.
Also, we're moving Ghislaine to a nicer prison, and she's gonna plead the fifth, and we're gonna redact, the names of perpetrators from the documents about child sex trafficking, and that's fine.
Dollars to fight sex and labor trafficking. I signed legislation to crack down on foreign countries who are not meeting standards for eliminating trafficking, of which there are many. I also signed into law the Abolish Human Trafficking Act.
Abolished Past tense?
which strengthened programs supporting survivors and provided more resources for ending modern slavery. We do have modern slavery, if you can believe it. Additionally, I created the first ever White House position focused solely on combating mild Floyd distress and whether.
Okay, so this is another YouTube channel, and their contribution was just
Amen
this
to
at the
this.
thrilled to host a
beginning. That's it!
Amen to this.
Amen to this. 1 second. And then just re-upload. Like, okay. It's still fair use even if you don't put your thing at the beginning, if it's like
Amen to
like a
this.
political news archive thing. Like there's different types of fair use, right? What currency is UYU? But thank you. Vodka Affy. Yeah, no, that was great. Black Conservative 24. I wonder what his commentary on this one is.
I'd love to do it right now.
Oh. He's actually doing.
In case you didn't know, Kristi Noem is out, unfortunately, and Senator Marlin will be our new Secretary of Homeland Security. And apparently, based on this clip, he's the type of
What accent is that?
person who will show up if you call him out.
Thank you. So-
Amen to this. Beautiful.
Another one.
Thank you all very much. That was incredible. Jim, that was unbelievable. What a job. So, President, it's a possibility. I mean, you made this the hottest movie anywhere in the world, so.
Oh my God! Trump just called the child sex trafficking movie the hottest movie.
I think maybe becoming the president of Mexico by comparison, right? So I just wanted to thank you all. That was unbelievable acting, and Tim, what a job you did.
Unbelievable acting. Yeah, pretending he didn't fall asleep. Okay.
He's going to do it, and you did, and you did, and you really did. Great combination, beautiful combination. That was a great movie, and I now understand why it's doing so well. It's setting records, by the way. It's beating the biggest movies out. They have some of the big, pretty good attention, but maybe, and you've done other things to know. Is that it's an incredible.
Amen to this. All right. Now I'm
Well,
just kind of
thank you.
curious.
We
about
For
this.
being our guest.
We just saw a great movie and unbelievable. And Jim, you were really incredible.
Thank you.
And you in real life were really incredible. So I want to thank you on behalf of a lot of people. Fantastic job.
Thank you. What was your favorite scene of the film?
I think the start, the ending.
This is exactly his answer when he was asked about the Bible. All of it.
I think the start, the ending, and maybe the result was what I liked. That was a great result. That was a hard-earned result, though. The two
What do you mean by results? What does that mean?
young children, you have thousands and hundreds of thousands out there. It's so sad to see.
Yeah.
But it was really sad.
Do you think that he says this and giggles to himself in his head about how he's like, hey, I'm a child toucher though?
Something very special. It's been a great success, the movie, and now I see why.
Well, thank you so much. There's a
I think he gets off on the idea that he's so powerful he can get away with it.
scene in the film that at the southern border at the port of entry.
Yeah.
They filmed that scene when the van comes across and we get the little boy out of there. That's a very true story. They filmed on location at the Calexico, California East Port of Entry. And when they filmed this, we weren't struggling as we are today. It's almost like God waited for the right time to drop this because the whole film kicks off with kids being trafficked into the United States. What's your perspective on the border now and where it was during your administration?
So as you know, the border was very successful, relatively speaking. At least it was the most successful it's ever been. It's incredibly bad right now. It's worse. You can magnify it times 10 or 12 times. They say. It's so sad to see what's happened. And that includes trafficking. It includes drugs. It includes everything. People coming in from all over the world. They're pouring into our country. They're coming from prisons. They're coming from mental institutions. They're terrorists. We have a terrible group of people running our country, and it's never been like this. The border's never been worse. You guys would understand that as well as I would. The border's never been more open. And when you have open borders like that, you have trafficking at a level that you've never seen before. So much different than when you and I previously met. And very sad to see it gone so bad. We'll turn it around, but it's really very terrible to see.
So when you were in charge of the border, I remember them saying that your policies were both racist, no compassion from President Trump on these foreign children. And I look today and I'm in awe because the only compassionate policy is enforcement. Yeah. These children, Jim, what you were telling me, you saw the testimony of Ms. Rodas, right, from
yes.
Health and Human Services.
April 26th.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, she gave her testimony.
Whistleblower, right?
Oh, yeah. And, she submitted evidence as well. And the next day in the media, it wasn't even covered. Like it never happened. I think the media is responsible as well as ignoring the south border. We don't have a country without a border.
Yeah. 85,000, Mr. President, 85,000.
I wonder what these guys think about the media and their responsibility to cover testimony in regards to other testimonies that exist that I probably don't even have to name.
Yeah, during the Joe Biden administration, showed up and were released into the belly of the United States, which is the #1 consumer of child exploitation material in the world. No background checks. The kids are released to whoever. It's more difficult to adopt a cat from a shelter than it is to go get a kid out of Health and Human Services. How do we fix this when you're back in?
Well, you need the policy, number one. You have to close up the borders, and we let people in when they go through a legal process. And we had that working really well. If they would have done nothing, the borders were just getting stronger and stronger. And from a human trafficking standpoint, and we find mostly women, but children very big also. But it's women and children. Nobody's seen I think I can say this, that nobody's ever seen it like it is today. And 3 years ago, we had it down to
I'm just the way he describes the border is a very simplified version of reality, It's weird for it to be related to the fucking Sound of Freedom interview. It's like, we're bringing it back to the border. The border's open right now under Biden, okay.
level that they hadn't seen for many, many decades. It was the lowest it's been, I think, in recorded history. And now it's probably the worst it's
And if Biden is making the Sound of Freedom thing happen,
ever been. Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening in our country and to our country right now.
Now, you had implemented a policy known in the media as Remain in Mexico.
Yeah.
I think within the first week of Biden coming in, he abolished Remain in Mexico. What was that, and what were the effects of Joe Biden?
Well, we had a lot of things. Then we had walls that were going up at a level that were really rapidly going. We took about 2 years to go through all the courts. We had 11 major court cases. I won all of those cases, and we started building the wall that delayed it. We started building the wall. We actually took the military at it. The military gave us the money at my demand, I guess you'd have to say, at my demand. And because I considered it like an invasion, I called this an invasion of our country. And very bad for the people coming in, but we just don't have a country.
It's obvious. I testified before Congress. I testified before then.
When it said Trump talking about fucking Sound of Freedom, I was just hoping that he would talk about the movie. But he said nothing. I liked the beginning and the end and the result. Now you're just saying the same shit you always say.
Senator Kamala Harris, who's now the border czar.
In 2016 and in 2020, 2 week, we didn't have the walls. We would have had the record country. Maybe they have ideas for the country that are a lot different.
It's an amazing thing. I can tell you this. I love the story of Sound of Freedom because you see real children from Central America. And I can tell you this, that with your policies and enforcement, the traffickers were de-incentivized from taking children like Miguel and Rocio. Because why take them if they have to remain in Mexico? Why take them if the walls pose too big of a risk for them to get the kids in? So your policies, and the world needs to understand this, rescued, in my professional opinion, and my professional one, hundreds of thousands or more children.
What? Okay, we're going to listen to that again.
It's an amazing thing, and I can tell you this. I love the story of Sound of Freedom because you see real children from Central America. And I can tell you this, that with your policies and enforcement, the traffickers were de-incentivized from taking children like Miguel and Rocio. Because why take them if they have to remain in Mexico? Yeah. Why take them if the
human child trafficking, like there's no market for it? Like you're decentivized? Like was Trump's border policy in like the first term really that different from Biden's? Sorry. The AI overview is having a fucking time here. Oh my god. So I don't have a lot of time. So like I don't know if I don't know if I can deep dive into this, but I did want to share something. So this is what I heard before the fucking AI thing, is that there were more encounters over Biden, which doesn't really say anything about how many people are actually going through the border. Despite lower overall encounter numbers, the Trump administration's enforcement often focused on interior, long-term residents, while the Biden administration focused on rapid removals at the border. In fact, Biden's administration removed a higher percentage of arrested border crossers in its first 2 years than Trump did in his last two, with a total of 3.5 times as many people removed per month. Because I remember the news during like the Biden administration was like, there's more encounters at the border. That means there's like more people. But it's like, wait, doesn't that just mean that they're stopping more people? Like, or doesn't that mean that they're maybe doing a better job keeping? Anyway, why I laughed was not this. It's something a little further down. So this is the AI overview, and I just saw this. Encounters, Biden administration's first years. I didn't realize they had to talk like Biden. They're doing a Biden impression. Experienced record high, unprecedented numbers of and. This is why I laughed. In fact, border officials recorded over 10 million encounters. Thanks, AI overview. And. Okay, like I'm gonna, okay. Total encounters, 10 million versus 2.4 million. Removal rate, 47% of arrested, 51% of arrested. So it's not like they're, anyway, my point was any politically aware person with any sort of like media literacy at all, understanding what propaganda is, would already know this, but I explain it anyway. Biden's border policy wasn't radically different from Trump's, and there wasn't an open border under Biden.
Walls pose too big of a risk for them to get the kids in. So your policies, and the world needs to understand this, rescued, in my professional opinion, and mine is a professional one, hundreds of thousands or more children were rescued from a life of being kidnapped, trafficked.
Hundreds of thousands or more children were rescued from Trump's border policies in his first term, being build the wall. That we don't really know how effective that was, and if did the wall get finished even? Like,
and it's that simple, that policies really can save children, and it's devastating to see what's happening. Another way I think that you saved a lot of children that people don't talk about is
how you were friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Because we're seeing the results now of what you did. You put 3 people on the bench. Tell me about those 3.
I should talk about Timmy's comment,
Well, we have
and then I'll get back to
3
editing. Yeah, that's
great Supreme Court justices, and they have made tremendous, the most qualified people, and everything else. You get amazing, maybe close to people.
And with the border enforcement, which is we know has rescued countless children. I mean, how does it feel to have gone in?
I want to know how Tim Ballard came up with the number hundreds of thousands or even more after saying, I am an expert. I want to know how he got that number.
And in 4 short years, really rescued what could be millions of children.
Why millions now?
And without your appointments, and with the border enforcement, which is we know has rescued countless children. I mean, how does it feel to have gone in and in 4 short years really rescued what could be millions of children?
What an interview question. How does it feel that in your 4 years as president that you've rescued millions of children? How do you feel about it?
How does that feel? And the other question, how does it feel to have been indicted unfairly twice, maybe a third time,
Could be fourth.
probably for doing these things, right? I mean, I don't know why else they're doing it.
It could be that. I mean, it could be a lot of things. It's look, we believe in borders. We believe in all of the things.
Well, yeah, because like obviously the Democrats, you know, they're mad at him for saving the children. That's why.
Things we've been discussing tonight, and it's for a lot of reasons, but the people of the country get it, and we're leading by so much. I mean, I've never had popularity like this because there is just a large group of people, far greater than 50%, I can tell you that, and you people know that better than anybody. Billions of dollars of people in this country, a vast, vast majority that understand what you're about. I'm watching. It's hard to believe, which means in terms of trafficking, which is a big deal, but in just about every other thing they're doing, their ideas are bad, their policies.
Next president of the United States and the next president of Mexico it might be in this room. Eduardo Verástegui, who's also the producer of Sound of Freedom, is contemplating a run. Come up here, hermano. I want to know.
Hermano.
I want to know, what would you do and what would you want to work with?
Most amazing leader around the world. Fasting and praying that people of America.
Hypothetically, if you were president.
There is a demand.
What's happening with trafficking? We'd work with Mexico and really create a real border, and that would do a lot.
This was boring. This was boring.